I've said some disproportionately negative things about TV, and if this is the first time you've watched a video on this channel, let me bring you up to speed a little bit. Reality TV is a graveyard of human dignity and quality, and if Channel 5 ever airs a show that's more enjoyable than being sat on by John Prescott with IBS, then check outside your window for a frozen lake being skated on by Steve Bannon. In fact, I don't think it's just me. Nowadays, TV is under constant fire from armchair arseholes insisting to award winners that they can do better. Maybe it's because we've all been spoiled by modern genre-defining creatives, but when I sat down to watch Taboo, the BBC One period drama about an emotionless, grunting wizard demon fighting the entire East India Trading Company, all I could think was, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good? Look at this thing. It's beautiful, well acted, and seems to actually have been made for creative reasons, rather than in order to make a line on a graph go up. Yeah, but the story is a bit dull. Oh, go absolutely fuck yourself, you whinging princess of a human being. Taboo is a show about Tom Hardy returning to London from Africa in the year 18 and two other numbers. I'm not as familiar with Tom Hardy as the rest of the world seems to be. I know that he was in a Batman film playing a bald man communicating to the world through a toaster oven. I think this must have been where he learned the strange voice. In Taboo he sounds like an asthmatic tuba, not too dissimilar from the Welsh maniac wearing a gimp suit in the same film. Since I wasn't so familiar with his line of work, I asked someone about him. Unfortunately, that someone was a middle-aged woman, so the response I got was, "Fwaw, eh? Fwaw." She then bolted out of the room, sounded like an upturned water bottle, and was gone for quite some time. He was very good in this. He actually was the best part. Sure, he had one facial expression and spoke like he'd been eating iron filings his whole life, but he was captivating. Fucking hell, maybe I need to go into a private room as well. The big problem with this show became apparent when I tried to describe what actually happens. I mean, a load of things happen, but not really for any overarching story. The bits were interesting, but because of the lack of some kind of story, I felt my eyes glaze over a couple of times. The bits don't feel connected, and at times they were so weird and out of nowhere that I started thinking, what the fuck is this? Like when Tom Hardy gives his sister a dream orgasm by shagging her with a Yeti. What the fuck is this? Or the bit straight after where her husband calls a priest, because in those days seeing a woman come must have been like seeing a zebra perform ballet. You could offer me money, or at least guarantee the coveted 4-figure views on this video, if I explained these things in the context of the story, and all I'd be able to do is sit there and picture Tom Hardy coming to rescue me from your impossible questions with his big strong arms. Insult gets added to injury when you realise that Tom Hardy has a backstory with shitloads of interesting ideas. But sure, flashbacks are just as good. Yeah, why not have an interesting story told to us by a man as though he's reading an audiobook? That's better than showing us that instead. I'd much rather listen to him argue about land with the East India Trading Company like it was Pirates of the Caribbean, starring humans as actors instead of furniture fished out of a pond. Yes, it was a good show, but thanks to the world we live in now, there are so many that deserve your time more than this. If you really want to watch this, I wouldn't recommend doing it all in one go, and maybe take regular breaks to resupply on liquids, but I'd say Sneaky Pete was better. Oh, and no, by the way, I wasn't just being nice to Tom Hardy because he could beat me up. I'm a comedy writer on the internet. The very idea of going outside and talking to people is enough to beat me up. Anyway, I'll have passed out due to all the blood being diverted at the sight of him before the fist reaches my face.